The courthouse was packed with people waiting for their cases to be heard. But in the corner office, behind the polished mahogany desk, sat a judge who had long lost his way. His reputation as a fair and just man had been shattered by greed and corruption. People came to him for justice, but they left his court empty-handed, their hopes dashed. Clint Eastwood, having seen the injustice firsthand, had decided it was time to confront this judge. He walked into the courthouse, his expression grim, his purpose clear. As he made his way through the hallways, whispers began to spread. Clint Eastwood had come to do what no one else had dared to do: take on the system. The judge sat in his office, counting his earnings from the bribes he had taken that week. He had grown used to the power, used to the way people bent to his will when money was involved. But today, something was different. The door to his office opened with a soft creak, and there, standing in the doorway, was Clint Eastwood. The judge looked up, his face going pale as Clint stepped inside. "You've been playing God with people's lives long enough," Clint said, his voice steady, unwavering. The judge quickly recovered his composure, straightening up in his chair. "You don't belong here, old man," the judge sneered, trying to assert some control. "I suggest you leave before things get ugly." Clint's eyes never left the judge. "I've seen too much of your ugly," Clint replied, taking a step closer to the desk. "The people you've crushed, the lives you've ruined, and all for money. You think you can hide behind your position, your robes, and your title. But I'm not afraid of you." The judge, his arrogance still apparent, leaned back in his chair, trying to maintain some semblance of power. "You think I'm afraid of an old man like you?" He spat. "I've got more influence than you'll ever have. People like me don't get taken down by people like you." Clint stood tall, his presence overwhelming. "Influence doesn't protect you from the truth," Clint said, pulling out a stack of documents from his coat. "This is the proof of everything you've done. The bribes, the lies, the way you've sold out the very people you were supposed to protect." The judge's face flushed with panic as Clint slammed the pile of evidence onto the desk. "You've been hiding behind your power for too long, but today, that ends." The judge's eyes darted around the room, realizing that Clint was serious. He couldn't talk his way out of this one. The room was tense as Clint stepped back, waiting for the judge to make his move. The judge looked at the documents, then at Clint, his usual arrogance now replaced with fear. "You can't do this," the judge whispered, but Clint's gaze never wavered. "It's already done," Clint said, his voice cold. "You're not above the law, and it's time someone reminded you of that." The judge was quickly escorted out of the courthouse, his once feared position reduced to nothing more than a distant memory. The people outside, those who had been wronged for so long, saw the change. Clint Eastwood didn't just expose the truth, he gave them their voice back. And if you want to see more of Clint Eastwood's unrelenting fight for justice, where corruption never wins, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon, because Clint makes sure the law is served. Fire.